Yes, my child. Come on. Okay. Priscilla's here. Running around like a mad cat. Jeez. All right. Kind of keep this one a little bit short. I posted the program people video. That's just like one version of well, it's part one. Doesn't quite get to what I'm trying to get to. It was different, there's only different ways of looking at things, yada yada yada, so whatever. So yeah, this is about the title of this here, what I'm doing now. Tired Earth, let it die. It can't die fast enough. Oh boy, how exciting. Don't you remember, you want to be remembered by this place? Go right ahead. If you want to get the hell out, I think I'd rather get the hell out of here and be remembered by this place. But if you want to be remembered by this world, more power to you. Yeah, good luck with that one. I don't know where things are heading. It doesn't feel like this world has much. The vibes are so bizarre. Not to say this world has ever been anything that great, but it does feel like it's, I don't know if it's running out of gas or what, or if it really is dying. I mean, it is dying. It's been dying for quite some time. You need to see that in entertainment, when, like I say, when they're recycling, everything's been remade and it's crap. Like they're making it worse because they don't have any. There's nothing there anymore, So they just keep remaking everything. It just gets worse and worse and worse. You can see that in the entertainment field. So we'll just use that as a temperature gauge, and and music's not really what it used to be, and doesn't mean it needs to be. Who knows? Whatever. I don't really listen to music anyway. But posted the program people. I was going to go into some of the details of it. Where I realize this is just like a piece of it. It's not the full reiteration of it. I'm not sure how I can do this. I never really. I think it's not that big to upload it onto this thing. I didn't quite think about it before I went live. You can put stuff on here somewhere. Here we go. Here, let me turn my camera off for a second. Let me figure this out. I wasn't planning on doing. I wasn't sure how I was going to do this. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm about to find out. Yeah, it's not that big. Sometimes it gets antsy if it's too. Yeah, it's uploading now. I might not be able to shift through it though if I show it here. I might have the audio on it. Okay, this might not work. I just have to do it the other way. But the girl in it, the spider girl that's in it, just you can say it's Archon. You can say whatever you want with it. I just feel like a female banshee, you can say, something like that, just a narrator. I get like a spider person, basically. And that was good enough. Like it's supposed to be wearing goggles, but it's like a VR set, you can say. And it does sense like a dome. This is just a different reality, so. A dome where they're on wearing VR sets, and they have profiles of us, and they're screwing around with us and all that. Not to make people feel paranoid or anything like that. Not to say they're not paranoid as it is, but I can feel them going through the files and all that, trying to screw around. Hopefully, then let's see what this does. It's probably not. I probably won't be able to stop it. So you can't pause it though. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Let me try the other way. Well, you never know. Yeah, because I just played the whole thing, which is fine. But that's not what I'm trying to do here. It's not something I do very often or ever. Yeah, I didn't come prepared, that's for sure. Okay. I don't know if you can. My audio is on during this. Let me take. Of course, I can't see anything either. Well, either way, hopefully it's. Okay. I think there's a way of turning this off. Maybe not. Anyway, all right. Yeah, this is kind of like our dimension, you can say, or it's not, either way you can. All right, but there's the mud. This is what we have to go through. And you have kind of Archon beings or whatever, cockroaches, whatever it is. But look at that, and you have the guy. He was supposed to turn into something, but he didn't go into the thing. This is kind of like the 1984 Big Brother type of realm. I feel like there is low tech, but also high tech. Like I say, this is not to make anyone paranoid or anything. It's just sort of giving kind of a visual. I've been seeing something like this for some time. It's more black and white, but either way, it's similar to like 1984. Propaganda and so and so. This is like a profile. This is like a person that's being set up to attack somebody, basically. And they can have a male there doing the same thing. It's just, just put something together pretty quick. There's like papers on it and all that. That is just a third dimensional way of looking at it, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And there you go. There's the target. But you can switch it around. Like have a male. That's the venom attacking. But either way, it's just sort of, like I said, just throw it together. And it's like where they live, yada yada. And this is like, this is like, I won't call her the queen, but she's narrator, or whatever you want to call her. But it's kind of appropriate, kind of creepy too. It's saying it wouldn't be a surprise. It's like those are profiles they're targeting, you could say. And they're just giving one of their agents information on how to do it. This one probably wasn't done so hot it should have been more normal stuff. Of course, the space person. Well, either way, this is basically a false memory that's been put in, which is definitely a real thing. Like I said, I can't cover everything, but yeah, this is more false memory, secret space program, even alien abduction stuff. It was real or not real. Sometimes it is. Sometimes we really don't know. Just to make you crazy. I have some funny stuff in here too. But it's supposed to be like the spaceship's supposed to be on the government White House lawn, but that didn't work out. It's just 3D live stuff for the most part. That was supposed to be a flying car, but that didn't work out so well. I guess. Anyway, it's more like even UFO propaganda here. Well, this is all up for interpretation too. It's not that. And some of this is the alien, even abductions and stuff like that, which is real. Even if it's programmed, it's still pretty damn real. So just to make you crazy, and she looks all spider webby. And this is people fighting. And then of course you have the program, the family program. Of course you still have the alien abductions. You have some lady marrying Jesus. I have a couple of those in there. But once again, it's the 3D propaganda being programmed. That's supposed to be an alien abduction with a lady laying down with an alien over her, but that didn't work out so well. There's a lady marrying Jesus again. There's people at a store. So it's just more programming. It's a little bit of everything, you can say. I like the lady marrying Jesus, because there's some truth to that. That could be also like marrying a guru or something like that. This is the spider. It's like programming spiders. I think there's spiders on her. But yeah, this is just, parasites, however you want to look at it. False marriage stuff. Yeah, there's Jesus and the alien. Yeah. Like I said, it's up for interpretation too. Oh yeah, there's supposed to be it's supposed to have been a guy with a spider on his back, and you can see the shadow of him there. Yeah, it kind of threw us. And the good life, the cake. Living the good life. Here's some cake, and here's you have the program live. There's some by marrying Jesus again. Yeah, just living the simple life, the good, happy life, whatever the hell it is. And it's more programmed. It's Jesus again. There's the Men in Black. The Men in Black aren't supposed to be an image, but either way, like agents. Which is true, for whatever reason, different reasons. But also have the program people, but also you have the agents to drive us completely insane. Because if you're outside the matrix, they come and mess with you. There's the gurus that we have here. Here's Jesus again. I think he's getting married. It looks like he's dressed up like the bride there. I kept putting him in there. I thought it was funny. Because it's actually pretty true. But yeah, these are the gurus that are out there messing with everybody. Yeah, it's like you take like a messed up area like this, a program realm, and you put all this nonsense there. Even like religion and so on, modern day, these mega churches and all that same fucking thing. This is the dome I was seeing, something like that. Mud, because we're kind of going through mud here. So yeah, look at that. Just, jeez. And this is just one way of looking at how we're getting programmed, or just the 3D people being programmed. Not necessarily all of us. But just kind of like a shady environment, basically VR sets. Now, this is just one way of looking at it. Doesn't mean this is like indefinite. This one always has like the dome. Yeah, because we have these like super domes. We have these sports domes here, and they're kind of we have the stadiums here. So it doesn't mean there's not like another dimension. It's a programming place. You can take it wherever you want. But, every city has a dome. At least in the U.S. I don't know about Europe. I don't think, well, they have soccer and all that. So, in another dimension, covered in mud, and they're programming people. For whatever it is, torturing people, programming them, whatever. Doesn't mean it's exactly like that, but it gives you some kind of image of. Doesn't mean you have to get like crazy with all this, but like we're on the screen there and they're just messing with us basically. It can be like a cockroach doing it. It could be an insectoid being doing it or something like that. Hopefully my audio went transitioned into that. Just see that you can't hear me, but. I just want to do like a quick run through on that one. It's not an attack on the spiritual community or anything. The other one wasn't either. The other one's a parody, but some might take it that way. But the 3D, obviously, like the secret space program stuff. A lot of that's just for 3D people. It just shows how those are in a spiritual path how 3D they really are. So you have the SSP, you have the even the New Age stuff is 3D people. All this fluff that's out there. Obviously, religion. It just shows that those that are evolving, doesn't mean they're not, but they're not quite outside the matrix. I think it shows. You know, not to bash them or anything like that, but outside the matrix is you're out. And you're fucked. If you're like swimming with dolphins and shit and just talking about programs and it's just like, what is that shit? New information. It's like you're just a 3D person basically. You know, whatever, do what you gotta do, right? But still a 3D person. 3D person programming other 3D people, basically. Other Matrix people or whatever. They haven't quite graduated, because when you get out of this system, it all falls apart. You ain't getting shit. Not really. I mean, you're allowed to live here, I guess, get the basics. But you'd be surprised how many that are evolving. I think people have noticed that, some do at least. I mean, those people are evolving, but they're still part of the system. That's what makes it so tricky. It's like they haven't quite pulled their head out of the system quite yet. Because obviously when you're outside the system, it's hard to read everything. You can't get everything because you're not in the system anymore. You know, you can guide people out of the system, but in the system, you have to, that's why some of these psychics and all that can tap into certain things. If, that is part of the what they want you to know, of course they can tap in because they're part of the game. But when you're outside of it, you can't always see everything. Of course, the future is a whole different deal, and then about 3D people can see some version of the future, but they're still part of the system, though. When you're outside the system, it's a gated. It's fuck you. I mean, sometimes you can tap into stuff where. Of course, they shut that down if you can't see it. Like I said, I'm not putting panic out there or anything like that. But it feels very different than before. It does feel like the system is breaking down. What does that mean is not clear yet. Like, Howard Stern is stepping down. A lot of these people are dying. Not all of them, obviously. Hulk passed away, so that's part of the old the old system. And so what do we have left? I mean, all these people die. What do we have? A lot of us are tired of this place. I don't know. It's like it's on life support. So yeah, but just all these gurus and all their high vibrational programming and yada yada, it's just a program. It's all this high vibrational nonsense, Shin Kong or whatever the hell they call it. It's all just 3D, it's for 3D people basically. They haven't quite, like I say, it's it's not like you just unplug and just they have to do it slowly because it's fucked up. When you're outside of it. Like I say, you're no longer chipped. You took the chip and you throw it out. Now you're not part of the system, but now you can't really mingle with the rest of them anymore because you're outside the system. Those that say they're outside the system, maybe it's a certain level. You'd be surprised how many people are agents here that, or they sell themselves out astrally. Say, oh, I'm evolving, but not really. They're there to freaking attack your ass or if you get an energy attack from someone and then certain people just happen to message you, it's like, that's kind of weird. Why are you messaging me right now while I'm down in the dumps? It's like, are you there to check in on me while you throw some more dirt on me? It's like, there's just certain things that are, of course, in my experience, at least the Archon beings, they're running out of ideas. They just keep throwing whatever they can at you, and just nothing's working, and they throw back at that. It doesn't mean that I can see anything in the future, but I can, like I said, I do feel it breaking down to some level. It feels like we're just, like I said, letting it die. How is it dying and all that's the thing with those that are part of the spiritual community. It's like, oh, it's dying. What are you talking about? I'm having so much fun. Like, God, see, I'm in 3D people. They're still part of the system. So yeah, they wouldn't be saying that if they're outside of it. It's like, just let the damn thing die already. You don't hear that. It's like just let the turd die, just flush it down. Yeah, trash can only go so far. It's just I don't know where this is going or the aliens. I mean, yeah, it does. I think I said yesterday at the beach. It has to be like the physical system has to be like 50% broken down. Now, like Brazil, which comes to mind, that's kind of broken down technically. That's it's not exactly a safe place. It's I don't know. It doesn't mean the whole world has to be like that, but it's almost like anything can go there. Of course, there's like places like Thailand that's kind of like that too. I think Thailand might be a little bit safer, maybe not. Brazil is definitely not safe. Of course, depending on where you are. I even know somebody from Brazil, and yeah, it's kind of a scumbag. But yeah, I don't know what that would exactly look like. You don't want to like put scenarios out there that I was like it's gonna be like worse than it already is. But yeah, the system somehow has to be broken down. Like any can tell, we're seeing pieces of it fall apart like through the entertainment system. Obviously, people aren't having kids like they used to. Society is just kind of drizzling away. It's been dying for some. Yeah, look at just the dating community. It's just dead. I mean, even those that are in it, it's like most of them are half alive. I mean, I realize it's been going on for a while, but I think it's more dead than it's ever been. So, we're just phoning it all in, huh? So appearances aren't what's cracked out to be. And yeah, these like spiritual gurus and all that. I don't know what's some of them are gonna get. It depends on the situation. Some of them get karma. Some of that's just where they are. Others are just NPCs that are programming. The one that just irritates me. Those that can evolve, like they have a large following. Doesn't mean they have to talk to me and be friends. I mean, I don't care. But they can. I've gotten messages a while back, like some of these spiritual, like New Agers that have a large following, can be a little bit more edgy, be more queer, like be more outside the box. Just instead of just putting more nonsense out, they're just putting more nonsense out there. It's like I can just see others that can be a little bit more blunt and just say things you can't normally say, but they don't want to lose their audience and you just want to stay in the system. They're keeping it, just keep themselves bloated, and it shows too physically too. You keep dishing out garbage, you can see it within their body too. Their body's all falling apart, they're about to explode. So, not to mention names, it's in the parody video, one of them at least. So, yeah, it's hard to say where this is all going, but I think part is also to see who's in the matrix and who is not. Like I said, the spiritual, like I said, the crazy lady that thinks she knows all about the aliens. She's just there to feed the 3D people. I know all about the aliens. Look at me, I'm a psycho. That's very good for you. Yeah, you should be eating diaper shit for the next trillion years. Just another program, basically. But yeah, just programming the Matrix people, basically, keeping them. Yeah, it's messed. It's just I don't know. It's sad. Not to say, well, I'm living anything exciting, but that's really sad. It's all success, but it's all hollowed out garbage when it comes down to it. When you talk about, this fun talking about the aliens, but it's like it doesn't really pertain to us at all. They're in their spaceships flying around wearing their jumpsuits. Who gives a shit? That's why they call it fiction. If you do fiction, it's different. Fiction is because it's up for interpretation, but these other guys are doing is like, this is the way it is. This is how these alien groups are. If anybody says anything against me, they're evil, and they're just fucking parasites. It's like, okay, you're just a manipulative cult leader, basically. That's something to be proud of. So as your soul just starts drizzling away. It's like it might be seen as this persona. It's in the parody video. Just a soul-sucking parasite. Whatever. It's just because you have appearances of everything is great, but then behind the scenes, it's it's just draining out into the sewer, basically. So, well, I guess some just want to build karma for themselves, I guess. Well, that's one way of doing it. But obviously, for this, it's like, yeah, they say tear the band-aid off and all. They can't always do that. I mean, you gotta be kind of gradual about it. A lot of people are not ready for this shit. Like I said, they want to be part of the system. Nothing wrong with that. They want to have things happen for the family, food on the table. Yeah, because like I said, when you unchip yourself, when you remove the chip, called the third dimension, you're you're pretty much screwed basically. So I mean, you might have some things going for you, maybe to survival, but it's bare minimum. So you haven't sold out or anything like that. It's crazy how many sell themselves out. It's just I never really looked at. I've had other words for that, but it's pretty much selling it. Yeah, it's just how mediocrity has a huge following and everything. They just sold themselves out. I guess it's weird. It's like they want to be popular. It's like so after this, your soul just gets used and thrown away, and they just do whatever the fuck they want with you, like Britney Spears. They just do whatever they want with you. That's something to be proud of. They want the good life, I guess, for 5 minutes, and they go through eternity of suffering. Is that how it works? I don't know, the whole. I guess they just don't care. I guess that version of that soul just gets thrown out at some point. It's like, who cares? It's like clothes. You just wear it out and then they just throw the soul out eventually. Is that how it works? I guess. Not that I care. But yeah, those that, yeah, it's crazy though. Like, even those people that work at like a retail store, a coffee shop, whatever, some of them sell themselves out to some level because they don't want to put the effort into evolving or doing the grunt work. They just want the easy life to some level, but it can also make them more third dimensional too. So, but that's why Archon beings can grab their energy. If they ever sold themselves out, so they grab a profile of their energy and use it against other people, which I've experienced that. And and they weaponize it and just put false energy. It's just fucking disgusting. But it still goes back to the person that sold themselves out. It's still their karma. Some being hijacks your energy and uses it against someone else, depending on the situation. It's still their karma when it comes down to it, because they sold themselves out. And one thing, if an entity takes your energy and uses it like attacking somebody, it depends on the situation. It's hard to say. Sometimes that is the being doing it, like somebody that is attacking you in a dream. Well, that is their darkness. That is their shit. Yeah, can't go into all those details of that, but either way, it might be, we can't always get the full story here. But you can say all this is about getting, what this is all about is getting the download, the story on it at some point. How far that goes is hard to say. Instead of just getting a download, the idea is to, reap the rewards. It's like, what I'm getting at is like, more about the astral realm, how this is put together, whatever you need to know. Find some kind of mental stability. It's like, this is why I'm here. Get a bit more detail, but also kind of reap the rewards instead of just, okay, I'm here for this, I'm still in hell. What's all that shit about? It's like, sometimes the less you know, the better. But I just feel like there's a breakdown within the system. It just has like I say, these like Howard Stern. I was really interested. I was gonna do some. I don't know if I was gonna like talk about it here, but Howard Stern's like I was just thinking about this though, because he has like the devil side of him in the past. It shows you you sell out probably, and all the things he had to do to get famous, just be raunchy, disgusting, and whatever. There's a positive to it somewhere. Also, he has to kind of make himself look terrible at the same time. But it kind of gives you not many people in the student. Maybe people are that childish either. It's like, it's like you have to be 12 in your 40s, in your 50s, you know. So yeah, just toilet humor basically. But it kind of, and that does have like a devilish type of energy. It kind of gives you an idea of that realm and what they have to do to. It's a humiliation to. Yeah, he did a lot of humiliation stuff publicly, so he can get to where he is. So yeah, there's some like it feels like a Illuminati sacrifice. Like he wants to be popular, but he has to do all these things to get there. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how this world works to some level. Well, if you want to acquire wealth that way, you just gotta make a fool out of yourself, basically. And live with it. Of course, now he's living with regret, and he's telling everybody to stay away. I mean, he was pretty horrible. You're just disgusting. I mean, that just gives you an idea of what the demonic realms are. That's just a piece of it. Demonic realms, they just set you on fire and start eating you and stuff. Like, shit, that's nice. So, yeah, it's like I said, seeing where this is heading into, it just seems like, yeah, the energy is very different than it has been before. It feels like it's just a breakdown that it's just not making itself clear what exactly is breaking down at this point. Is Trump going to be our last president? I wouldn't be surprised. Doesn't mean he's going to be a dictator. It's just going to be the last as the U.S. transforms into whatever it's going to transform into. That's up to debate, so. Doesn't mean it's going to be the doomsday or anything like that. I'm not putting that. There's going to be pieces of that, yeah, but it doesn't mean it's going to be for everybody. But 3D people is going to do what they're going to do. The grass is greener there no matter what. Give us something to complain about. Shit. Well, they're not. Those in the Matrix people are just obviously it's just not ready to unplug, or some are, but like I said, it's not as easy as it sounds. Like I say, you have the New Age, you have these spiritual gurus and all that, and it have not quite been able to disconnect. And those that have these podcasts are manipulating the shit out of them, talking about new information and all that. Just this bunch of 3D people think they know what the fuck they're talking about, but not really. And somehow they sold themselves out so they can get popular and manipulate people and deny it. We didn't sell ourselves out, but it's written all over us. We have all this huge following. We don't even have to try. We can be wrong about everything and still have a huge following. And your yuppies, your spiritual yuppies, just suck it all up. So, anyway. So, yeah, we'll see where this... couple weeks, I think we'll have some idea when it's all breaking down. Yeah, a couple weeks. It'll still be in August. I always feel like the middle of the month. This might be, let's see, we're kind of going to the middle of the month. I would say around the 20th, 18th, 19th, 20th, something around there. I'll probably forget about it after I say this, but so this week's kind of, stuff's breaking down here and there, of course, but doesn't mean the whole world will be completely, you never know, but who knows. So, anyway. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. I have to get out of here. Start blessings.